Hey people, this is the ADR guys again, back with you. Appreciate you joining us. If you guys are chocoholics, you're going to enjoy what we're going to make for you today. I'm going to make a French chocolate cake. So come on over here, let's get started with it. Here are the ingredients for you. We've got 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. Got a 1/2 cup of butter and 2 cups of brown sugar. We have 1 cup of buttermilk, 2 egg yolks, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. One cup of strong brewed coffee. 6 ounces of dark chocolate chips. Alright, before we start mixing our ingredients, you want to get 2 round 9-inch cake pans, and you want to grease them, and then you want to line them, the bottoms, with wax paper and grease them again, both of those, and set them to the side. When you do that, go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Okay. You want to take your butter and your brown sugar and you want to cream that together until it forms little crumblies. Okay. And this will be what you're looking for. Then what you want to do is you want to add your eggs and vanilla and then beat that in. Alright, now that that's mixed together, what you guys want to do now is you want to take your chocolate and you want to melt it. I put mine in the microwave for 2 to 3 minutes. Alright, after you melt your chocolate, be careful, it's hot. You want to scrape it into your bowl. Okay, we got our chocolate mixed in. Then you want to take your 1 cup of strong brewed coffee. Add that in there. And you want to mix that together. Okay. Now that that is all mixed up, what you're going to have to do is you need to take your flour mixture and your buttermilk and add them alternatively. So you take a little bit of flour and you mix that in. Okay, we got the flour mixed up in there, the first batch. Now I'm going to add some buttermilk. And we're going to incorporate that together. Then just continue those steps until everything is combined. Okay, now that your batter is all mixed together, we need to take our 2 9-inch pans and divide it equally, as equal as you can. Just pour it right on in there. Alright, we've got them all in our pans and we're ready to put them in the oven. Okay, we've got our oven preheated to 350. Set them in the middle rack. Need to leave about 1 inch in between them. You want to bake these about 25 minutes, but we're going to start at 20 because I do not like to overcook anything. So at 20 minutes, we're going to get a toothpick and we're going to check them. Okay, our cake's baked for 30 minutes. So when we took them out, set them on the cooling racks in the pan, and we cooled them for 10 minutes. Then we turned them out on the cooling racks and they need to cool completely. So while we're waiting for the cakes to cool completely, come on over here and we need to make the filling. So what the filling is we've got 8 ounces of cream cheese at room temperature. We've got 6 ounces of dark chocolate chips, a 1/4 cup of milk, and a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. And we're going to melt this in the microwave for a few seconds. Then we're going to put it in here and we're going to blend it up. Okay, we've got the cream cheese and the chocolate all incorporated. Lord. Now you want to take a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. what we need to do now is we need to let this cool completely so it'll harden up a little bit before we put it on our cakes. Okay, while our filling is continuing to cool and our cakes are cooling, we need to make the frosting. So let's show you what we've got here. I've got 2 cups of vegetable shortening, and in here I've got a 1/2 cup of milk and a 1/2 cup of non-dairy powdered creamer and a teaspoon of almond extract. And you need to put all this together and incorporate it in here and get all the non-dairy creamer mixed in, because you don't want to have grains in your frosting, and if you don't mix it in with your wet ingredients, your frosting will come out really gritty. And we're going to incorporate that into here and get that mixed up. Then we're going to start adding the powdered sugar. Okay, now that that's all nice and mixed up, doesn't it look pretty? It ain't going to taste very good, but it looks pretty. Now when you start adding your powdered sugar, it needs to be sifted, because powdered sugar already has lumps in it and you don't want your icing to be all lumpy. That's nasty. So let's start with a cup at a time. Okay, it took 5 cups of powdered sugar to finish the frosting. You will only need about half of this. I made a full batch because I have other things to use it on, and I forgot to tell you guys that. So cut the ingredients in half and that'll be plenty for this cake. So we're going to set this aside and we're going to put the filling on the first cake layer. Okay, we've got all our filling in, we've got the second layer on. So now what you need to do is you need to put it back in the refrigerator 5 to 10 minutes and let it set back up, and then we'll be ready to do the frosting. Okay, just took it out of the refrigerator so it's had time for this to set up. You can touch it and your chocolate's not going to come out on you. That way you know it's time to start applying your frosting. Like any other cake that you want to do, you want to do a scratch coat. And once you get your scratch coat done, you can put it back in the refrigerator for a few minutes and then finish your icing. Alright guys, well the cake is ready. We've got it all frosted. I wasn't going to bore y'all with that. So here you have a really rich, luscious French chocolate cake. This recipe you're not going to find on any website, cookbooks, or magazines, because this is my own personal recipe. So again, let's have a bite of it and see how it turned out. That's good stuff. Because a little almond in the icing, the frosting, it really sets off the chocolate. And the cream cheese and the filling, it's really good. So here's another recipe for you guys. Get your family in the kitchen, y'all do something together, make something, and explore. Have a good time. We appreciate y'all joining us. Thank you.